I just want to say welcome to the next step up in your rehab. So at the moment, we're around the 16 to 18 week post recovery stage. I'm going to give you 6 exercises that enables us to maybe push through a little bit of fatigue through the rehab and plateauing. Purely because we've been so adamant and movement with our rehab because we want to get better, but that's actually causing a little bit of rehab burnout, and it is very, very common at that 16 to 18 week mark. If you're there, even if you're, a few weeks of that, just preempt that could happen, and that this is a great exercise session to come back to, which is what we're aiming for at this stage of recovery. So you can do this on a wall, and I will clip into this video how to do it on a wall. For right now, we're going to do it on the mat because we've got a foam roller as well. Just know that this is a little bit more pressure through the shoulders because we are over our body weight. We're not just rolling our arms up and down a wall. If you don't have a foam roller, you can use a towel. For now, we want to go nice and wide with the knees, a nice safe posture. Prayer hands, try and bring the elbows as close as you can together. And we want to start off in the hands. We're just going to roll that towel or that foam roller away from us. And then slowly draw it in. That's it. That's the magic sauce, team. We want to find that length. If you can go a little bit further, great. If not, keep your hips on your heels. There is so much we can do to progress intentionally through movement. Even if you want to isolate one side, feel free to go for it. If the side that you're isolating is the surgical side, maybe just release a little bit of pressure. So maybe come up a little bit more or sink back a little bit more. Maybe we don't isolate. And we keep both hands in prayer and just gently roll up, roll down. If I was doing this on a wall, I'd obviously be standing straight up. My hand would be above my head as we roll up and roll down that wall. For now, we're going to keep it on the mat. As I know Saran's got the exercises that she does up the wall. That one. Good stuff. We're going to just do a couple more. If you want a little bit more, you can just roll through your palms and then bring it back in. Palms. See how that lever, so my arm, the length has gotten a lot more. That's the difference between bending your arms, lengthening those arms. It's safe to say that Saran's 10 weeks post-op, so it's feeling a little less fragile, but it's still very important that we stay really kind and light and intentional with the movements. She has done her rehab exercises this morning, so she's already ready to go. Warmed up. If you were, doing this at home and this was the first thing you were to click on in the morning, it is safe to warm up this way through the shoulder. That's how we're kind of getting up today. So when you feel safe, just have a little sit, bend through your knees, and you can keep your feet on the mat for grip. Nice, and that feels okay? Yeah. Nice. So I'm going to do the movement this way and I guess copy and paste. So we're just hugging that foam roller with our scaps, with our shoulder blades, and just finding a breath. We want to find an inhale as the shoulders roll forward, exhale, roll back. Yeah. Nice. How's that feeling? You might get a nice little activation in the legs as well. Beautiful. And we want to be exercise-wise or rep-wise, it's important to do around the 15 to 20 mark. If you're doing the rehab exercises every day, It can get boring, and I'm sure that's what rehab is renowned for, the boringness of it, but your body will love you so much more post-recovery stage when you can have full access to the strength and then longevity of the body. Nice. Good. Nice. So this is a retraction in the shoulders. If anyone ever says retract the shoulders down and back, that's what a retraction is. Putting the shoulder blades into their homes is the way I like to explain it. Nice. And we're going to try and do this to open up that chest a little more. So how are we with 90 or a this pose? What's this, cactus? And then back down. Yeah, good. So that's the rotator cuff starting to join the party. Nice. Good. And we're doing this with a retracted shoulder blade. So sticking the chest nice and outwards. Good. And keep taking those breaths. You're here just for 3. Nice work, Saran. Keep going. Last 2. Beautiful. And the last one. Good.
Saran here did a couple of angel arms unweighted with straight arms, as you can see, just to finish off this block of work. Unweighted. We're going to come off the wall in the next clip, and then I'm going to show you the laying down version.
Safest way to come off the wall is one leg at a time, step forward. I'm just going to give you a little prop up through the back. So this femoral is going to come up, yeah, and then forward. Nice, good. Have a little shake out. Feel okay? It's such a fine balance. Sometimes even instructors don't even get it right. I know that, you know, I've definitely pushed my recovery just because I'm so eager to feel better. But just know that this is a safe way to progress, especially if you're around that 16 to 18 week post-surgical recovery. Even if you're not, let me know in the comments or reach out into that one-on-one program so I can get a little bit better of an idea of your circumstance. We're going to start with a foam roller, or if you don't have a foam roller, we are just going to lay flat on the floor or the mat. So we're starting to ensure, and there's going to be quite a lot of wisdom throughout this session as well. So just take what resonates, just leave what doesn't, especially if you are in different stages of your recovery. So it was a supraspinatus impingement / rotator cuff tear. So we need to ensure that our traps and our rotator cuff are not just doing all the work. So we need to actually ensure that our other muscles around our rotator cuff is actually supporting and not giving it all to the rotator cuff. So hands down by your side. We're going to start to reach up to the ceiling, reach up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, slowly, eccentrically lower them down for 3. Try and keep your head straight. I'm just looking at you guys because I like looking at you. And 1. Let's go again. Reach up. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Lower down, hands to mat for 2. And 1. Go again. Inhale. Check in how it's feeling. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Start to feel the back muscles turn on. Inhale, up. Doesn't have to be that fast. I'm just getting excited. Exhale for 3. Slower for 2. Hover them off the ground for 1. Nice. Keep them off the ground for these next 3 reps. Inhale. Exhale. Good. See what's happening through the back body. If you feel it impinge, that means you stop. Anytime, any exercise, if you feel it impinge, you stop. That's a blanket rule with Pilates, Clinical Pilates. Inhale. Exhale, 3, 2, keep your hands off the floor, 1. Inhale up. Exhale, 3, 2, and relax down. Just take those angel arms. Open up through the shoulders. If it's too much, you can relieve the foam roller or just take some angel arms, rubbing your arms side to side. You might not come overhead yet, depending where you are in your recovery. And we're just getting a lot of feedback from that roller and of course the floor. So angel arms can really be a great exercise to just see where you're at in the recovery. If you can get your arms all the way up, mobility starting to come back. If you feel any pain in the thoracic spine, any nerves, just come halfway and just really start to practice half angel arms. You can do this laying down flat on the floor for a bit more feedback. And it's just like someone pressing, you know, your shoulder blades in place from the feedback from the foam roller or the floor. Couple more. And then we're just going to safely draw those hands down, come off any prop. If you're there, you can either sit up or just roll off it. Another prop, Pilates ball. It's a weird one. It's down by the leg. We're pressing the ball into the wall. We're having a strong stance and we're just pushing into the wall with our hips and our pelvis, and then we're mirroring that movement with our arms, so our frontal raise. Let's find that first. Good, and then it's like a little, chair sit. Your pelvis and your glutes will probably turn on first because we can't forget about the rest of your body. Nice, and then, mirroring, good, well done. Nice, and I'm just watching for shoulders, so we don't really want to, it's like we're hugging, that's cute. We don't want to try and compensate a shoulder, and that's all I watch for. Nice. Well done, looking really good, nice and even through the arms, through the shoulders. And again, if we miss that part, we aim for about 15 to 20 reps through our clinical, and we're taking it super easy with any progressions here. Good. In the comments, I might put a couple of progressions, but again, it's just about compound lifting. So if Saran felt great after this session tomorrow and she was coming in next week for a clinical session, it would be weighted, but it would be like a 0.5, a wrist weight, or a nice little gentle weighted ball in her hands to then start to build this muscle around the shoulder. Good, looking really nice and aligned through the shoulders. How's it feeling? Bored of it yet? 2, good, and 1. Nice. You can just let the ball fall down to the floor. That is all good. And we're going to do that frontal raise with that right knee pushed on the ball. Nice. So bend, bend, bend. Yeah, and with joint health as well, it can work in diagonal pain points. So because it is Saran's left shoulder, we can start to compensate through the body. So this is just one of those exercises that invites symmetry into the body. She's using her whole body here to do that kind of wall sit. Core is on, glutes are on, quads are on, and then she's stabilizing really well through the shoulders as well. It's never just the one spot, right? The whole body works in unison. Good, few breaths here. Last 3. Good one, last 2. And last 1. Nice, good. You can slowly lengthen your legs, just have a little walk around if you like. We are going to start incorporating weights. I have 1.5 kilos here. I'm just going to say it straight out, that's way too heavy if you are 16 to 18 weeks post-surgery. You want to be aiming for the 0.5/1 kilos. That 0.5, I know it doesn't sound like much, but add those two together, it adds a whole nother kilo of load. Muscles don't know numbers, they just know time over tension and load, so just be really mindful with what weights you grab. You can also try this with no weights. I would prefer that first. I like to sit down on the floor or have my back up against a wall, we're going to slowly find an overhead reach angel arms. So we are starting to, as I've mentioned in a previous short video, if we're starting to plateau in an exercise or in our rehab, it might be we need to start to increase the load because the body's gotten too used to body weight, and it's time to progress for a longer period of time, but with a heavier tension, time over tension through the exercise. Not always, and this is where I'm just gonna let go of the weights, try a couple with no weights. This is where we've got to be super tuned in to what our body is receptive for. So if it doesn't feel safe, if you're starting to impinge in the shoulder, let go of the weights. It's just really intentional that you check in with the body. So only do this with a bit of weight if you feel like you are not trying to compensate a shoulder. Yeah, if you're trying to raise these shoulders to try and get the weight above your head, that's a big no. A big no. Like if I was there, I'd give you a bit of a slap on the wrist, lightly. But in all seriousness, we want to just tune in to our shoulder blades. I'm going to do a couple of these facing the other way, just so you can see the shoulder blades move. We all have one side that's going to say, that's going to move a little bit quicker. So again, it's not about being perfectly symmetrical, it's just about moving the arms as much as we can in symmetry. Very big difference. I like to keep a micro bend through the elbows as well, just so I'm taking pressure. Oh, sorry, there's a little spider on the mat. Oh. Couple more. Breathe. And last one. If you did these with 0.5 kilos, let it go, shake it out. If you did those with 0.5 kilos, no weights, or you're even ready to increase your weight load more than a 1.5, you should be feeling that the lats, so the back body, as well as the top of the shoulders, as well as the traps. Traps aren't bad muscles to turn on. They actually support our back and hug our shoulder blades. So when we can actually tap into that bigger muscle, which is the trap, it's going to take pressure off that rotator cuff as well, which is what we're aiming for at this stage of recovery. Yeah, and you know that you can just drop them if it's not, and just kind of, do your recovery circles. Yeah, nice. So she's already retracted her shoulders, core's already on. You can do those little mini circles, obviously, in this posture, because the core gets invited a little bit more here, so it's nice and protective as we move. Or you can do those little circles standing as well. Nice. Good. Is it around 60 to 90 seconds you do this for?
I find when I first start doing it without the balls at home, it is a little bit painful, so I just do it until that releases.
Yeah, I love it.
And then I go the other way.
Yeah,
This way is easier.
There you go, internally.
But then I'll go back this way and it'll feel better.
Yeah, nice.
And sometimes I'll do another exercise and then come back to it, just to make sure all the niggles are gone.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, and that's the whole point of keeping moving and rehabbing the body. So then there's no impingement, there's no niggles, it can recover well, it builds strength safely, and then it rebuilds trust within the body, mind to muscle connection. Nice. Whenever you feel like giving them up, you can. Feel free to just have a little rest.
Arm circles are a great way of recovery.
In the next part, I'm using those 1.5 weights. You can have double the time. You can try 1 kilos, 0.5, gradually go up by 0.5s every time.
We can sit in a chair pose. We want to start to get this posterior chain activated as well. You can also, hips to heels, do this in any position you like. You can even just stand up straight. If you feel like you've been doing this for a while and you want to add a little bit of weight, only if you've tried it body weight, I'll allow it. So you can think about starting to breathe into that core. You can also just see how it feels with no weight and just let gravity kind of do its thing. Let's just see if we can try and just relax the arms, relax through. We don't want to be curling over relaxed. We still want to be retracting and relaxed, but think about closing your rib cage down to your hip. Hips to heels, try and sink in deeper, push the power into the glutes, and only if it feels good, we're going to grab hold of those weights. You know, we can start to frontal raise and all those things, I would say at least 6 months post-surgery. But I would always, just consult your clinical instructor or your physio or your healthcare professional before doing that. Again, members always welcome to hit me up on that online community. It is free. It is free. But we want to find a nice little swing. So I know for a fact that my client has got her rotational arm circles in her rehab. You can do these down here as well with weights if you feel like you are plateauing in your recovery. Only if there's no impingement pain. That trumps everything. If there is impingement pain, do not listen to me. I give you permission to not listen. We want to just make sure we're moving around that. We don't want to impinge it anymore. Okay. That's my sergeant Steph. She comes out every now and then. All right, we want to just take another 10 seconds or so to just swing those arms. I'm going to let go of my weights because I'm starting to feel a bit of, fatigue. And we're still activating that posterior chain as well. Think about a couple more breaths, maybe even out if you haven't already. Just take that time. And then we just want to stand up nice and neutral. Because we have done quite a lot of work, it's been around that half an hour to 25 minutes of work in this session, I am going to give my client the other exercise to finish off with today, but we are just going to take some breaths just to come back into the body and just to release those shoulders from having to do anything. So you can take your breath seated, you can take your breath laying down. And we're just going to find some breaths. Let's do it. You can slowly find a laying down position, or you can also just sit. Find a seat in a quiet area. You can sit up against a wall. Feel free to nod the head yes, no.
Continue with those neck circles. Take a couple of breaths. Inhale, hold. Exhale, release through the mouth. Inhale, hold. Exhale, release. I would suggest doing any nervous system reset here, any stretches. Please reach out with any surgical niche. That is what I love to focus on and hone in on. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and I will see you in the next one or chat to you in the comments. Thanks again and enjoy.